back to Bascome's Corner. As I told you, yeah, we are going to be following up on my young people. Now, let's see, if they've been doing some work. This week, we also included some young people that's gone through college and actually finished college to help empower, the four, student athletes that we had on before. So we're going to kind of follow their journey. It's very important that, we catch up with them. Let's see if they've done some work, because we know some young people nowadays, you know what they do? They take the information and they sit off, fall asleep, and then be like, okay, I forgot about it. All right, so let's get to meet them. We have them on right now. So you guys want to introduce yourself? I think we have Nia. How you doing, Nia?
I'm doing good.
All right, good. How's everything going? Everything's good?
Yeah, it's good. Just stay safe.
Awesome. So I'm going to have you guys just individually, just so the public can know who is actually on our Zoom calls. All right. So whoever wants to go next.
My name is Jaden Masters.
Hi, Jaden. How you doing today?
I'm writing yourself.
All right. Awesome. All right. Next.
My name is Miguel Falco.
What's up, Miguel? Miguel, we can see you now, yeah?
Yes.
Last time, you was in the shadows.
Yes, a little bit.
All right. All right. Next up.
All right, my name is Giannis Roberts.
Giannis, how's things going, Giannis?
Good.
How's the training going?
Good.
Awesome. And we have two more, actually my supporting cast. Jahkele, can you let us know about yourself?
Yeah, my name is Jahkele Bascome from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Play American football at University at Albany.
Awesome. And then we have Shay. Are you there, Shay?
I'm here. My name is Shaydrina. I live in Bermuda. I work at the Department of Child and Family Services, and I have degrees in both social work and dance movement therapy.
Awesome. Well, you guys, a pleasure to have you here once again. So, my guys, how you doing? So here's what's going to – anybody celebrating anything? Nia, you celebrating anything? No, you're not.
Eventually.
Nothing? All right, I'm just checking. All right, trying to loosen you guys up a little bit. All right, so we're going to go over and talk about, you guys' empowerment. From the last conversation we had, and we went over the PVISN, anybody, got a chance? Did you guys get a chance to think about it? Jaden, did you go away from last meeting really thinking about, like, some of the goals that you're going to set for yourself?
Yeah, I did.
Can you share?
Sure. Do you want me to share? What do you want me to exactly share?
Well, it's up to you. Just share some of your goals, right? Because before we can move on, I got to make sure that you guys are understanding, everything that we talked about.
Obviously, I want to, end up committing to a school eventually. Okay. I want to also make an impact on somebody's life.
Okay, so now we talked about structuring. What does your structure look like? From the last time we talked, did you think about anything you're going to have to do, like some of these sacrifices you're going to have to make?
Yeah, obviously, work hard, good education, be the best version of myself.
All right, so what about a timeline? What's your timeline? Since the last time we chatted was 4 weeks ago, what have you done to empower yourself? So, I'm not going to pick on you too much. Giannis, what have you done to empower your journey, Giannis? From the last time we talked, so you guys do some homework. What are some things that you have done or changed since the last time we talked?
So last time we were talking about how choose a player and compare yourself to him. So I kind of did that, and then I worked on the things that I needed to work on. Okay,
good. So Jahkele and Shay, what we done is that we had the players last time, and we gave them a little tool. It was called the process of elimination with development. And what we done, I actually had them to break down a player. So what they done, they broke down a player, and they chose a player, and then they had to actually figure out is that some tools that they have, and also tools that the players have, the other player has, so they can develop themselves. Shay, like when you was going through college, was there any was it somebody in school, or because I know you're doing dance and relating it to dance, was there anybody that you felt was like an awesome dancer that you want to either be like? And did you set any goals like to be the best dancer, or what was your goals look like?
I didn't have any competitive goals in terms of dances because at the time I wasn't certain if I wanted to dance professionally or if I wanted to go somewhere with it.
Okay.
So for me, it was kind of competing with myself, I would say, especially as the first person in my family to go away to college in my immediate.
Okay.
So for me, it was, sorry.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm just
So
listening.
for me, it was just kind of being the best that I could be and just kind of observing others who have been to college in a sense. So I knew I wanted to go to college. I knew that there were others who had did it. So I just kind of used them as resources to see how I could go about it. And in terms of girls, I just knew that I wanted to go away to school. So in order to do that, I had to conduct research. I had to make sure that I was doing my schoolwork, that I was on par with what I needed. After researching schools, I knew that in setting goals in terms of my grades in order to get into those colleges. And then once getting into university, I set the goal to graduate, essentially. It's a big goal, but I knew I had to do it. So the smaller goals within that were to get good grades, make sure that I was utilizing all my resources in order to help me, and making sure that I really kind of stuck to the wicket to meet the
Right.
ultimate goal of graduating.
That is awesome. And here's the question, right? And just from hearing Shay, and I'm going to have Jahkele jump on at some point, but did you guys hear anything from what we talked about? Remember we talked about the purpose, the vision, the ideas, the structure, next steps. Did you hear this, any pieces in there that was following this like guideline? Yeah? Jaden, I see you nodding your head. She had structure, right?
Yeah.
So what she done is that even if she wasn't so much concerned with the as dancing or being a a professional, what she done is that she set goals for her life, and what she done is she knew her purpose. Her purpose was what? Anybody remember what she said? What was her purpose?
And then like to graduate.
Yes, why?
I don't know.
Because one of the first, right? One of the first. So that's her purpose and her vision, right? So no, you're right, Nia. So she had that purpose. She wanted to graduate. So that was part. So what she done, she made that deep into her why. So if I'm correct, Shay, every time you got up, you was like, man, that's driving you, right? That was that was going to drive you. Remember I told you guys about having a why to support the purpose. The purpose is what you want to achieve. Okay. So Miguel, is that what was those next steps? What would you think some of her next steps had to be? Now she mentioned some, but what was some of Shay's next steps? Or Giannis, or anybody want to jump in? What was the next steps? What was some of the things that she kind of was part of her next steps once she built her structure, right? So, and these are your action steps. So if she want to finish college, what's some next steps you think that she would have to have if she want to finish college? If that was her purpose, what were those next steps? Because remember, after you structure, you got an action plan. Yeah?
Maybe find a job.
Yeah, that's it, right? Just, keep going with it, Find a job. What else? Yeah, because she can graduate all she wants, If she got a job, it's over. So if you don't have a final plan, and that comes with a timeline, yeah? Suppose things did not go well. Suppose things don't go well for her, and she can't find a job. She doesn't stop. She's going to always go back to her purpose and why. I done this for a reason. I'm not stopping. What I'm saying to you guys is that if your final outcome is to get to college and you don't get there, you don't stop. If it's to be a pro, you don't get there, you don't stop. Jahkele, you're finishing up now, and as an athlete, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was some of your struggles? Because I want to share a lot with these guys, and we're gonna have them ask and think of some questions or ask some questions. What were some of the biggest struggles as far as one, getting a scholarship? The other one is keeping it. Because all these guys like Jaden and Nia and even Giannis, those guys, getting a scholarship but keeping the scholarship, what was one of the toughest things you had to do once you stepped on those grounds? Like what was, what was your challenge?
Well, struggling for being a student athlete is definitely time management. Because coming from high school, you had all the time in the world, but now you don't. And they try to keep you on a scheduled date. So I'll wake up about 5. My day won't end until about 10 p.m. So you really don't got time to sleep or slack off with anything for real.
What's the grades like how now? Because I know when we go for football or soccer, is that the season goes up to like November, and then if you're in the playoffs, then after that, when I went to college, I mean, I just thought I was going for football. I did not dream I had to actually do classes and pass. What's the schedule like with you guys? Are you guys still got that full season? Is it still set up the same way? Like, do you have to do minimal classes?
Yeah, well, we still have you can do 12 or 15 credits depending on what your major is. So our season would start in late August, early September, but our training would start in June.
In June, okay.
Yeah. So we'll have the end of June all the way till the middle of December. We'll have football. We'll have 3 weeks off, and then we're back into it in January.
If there's anything that we're hearing over and over, you guys, is structure. Yeah. One thing he said is telling you get into school, and JD, you've probably seen it now, and Nia, I'm sure you see it now as well, right? Because you guys are John Carroll. Miguel and Giannis, please pay attention, because if you're going to end up going to college, the structuring piece and setting the structure. So this whole model is so crucial for you, right? Is that your next steps to also what you want to do, what it's going to look like. Because if I'm correct, and I know that when I was attempted to get into school, once you drop your grade point average, you lose your scholarship. They will take it away from you. So once you get at that stage, that is like a contract. That's like money. Yeah, that is like money, especially for what the schools cost now. Giannis, any you and actually Miguel, what's any questions you have like for where you are now? Okay, because you guys in middle school, right? Or in high school, you're middle.
Middle school.
I'm in middle, yeah, middle.
What's some questions you guys will have for like about Jaden still kind of? So Jaden, yeah, leave. What you got? One more year, Jaden?
Yeah, I'm going into senior year now.
So Jaden's in high school now. She's good to senior year. Okay, and she's actually down in Florida, and Nia has actually finished. Okay, and she's getting ready, preparing herself to get into Towson. What questions? What's some questions? What are some questions you would like to ask? Because these guys on your team, what's some questions you would like to ask them? Any questions?
I have a question. What is like that transitional period like from moving away from your family and like previous life to start a new one? Basically, sort of.
No, all right. Nia, Jaden, you guys?
Okay. How's the transition? I feel like it's different with everybody depending on, like, with me, I was more independent. So I like to do a lot on my own. So I was ready to leave in like primary school. Obviously, my parents weren't going to let me leave in primary school because, I'm not even, matured yet or ready to go or ready to live on my own. But it's just a matter of going out there and having a mindset like I want to get better, because you're going to be competing against the best of the best. So don't go out there to waste your time, and then obviously waste your parents' money and time. So
Nia, anything like what what is like when you left, and you guys were already saying, because you guys wanted to get out, right? You guys was looking forward to it. What was it like with the climate, right? Like France, like and did you miss home? Like, did you miss your friends at home?
Man, at the beginning, obviously, but like as soon as you like make connections with like the people that's at your school already, it's like it kind of makes it easier. But I feel like most times you'll still miss your friends that you have back home and you have for a long time.
Shay and Jahkele, any tools you think that, or you guys, or anyone of you guys can answer this, even Jaden, anything you guys did, like when you left Bermuda, even just to go to college, or left, if you was up in Harrisburg, Jahkele, like what's some things you had to do to keep yourself from missing home, or like was there anything that you guys did normal that became a norm to make you comfortable? Like did you have to create a climate in your dorm room, yeah, of like Bermuda pictures and stuff?
For myself, I chose a university that was close to family because
Mm.
I knew that if I missed him, at least I had family close by. So I had cousins, uncles, aunts, godparents like all the way from where I went to school. Um, for me, I always called home. That helped. It didn't, I still missed my family, but I still called. But in terms of like meeting people while in school, I made sure to push myself out of my comfort zone. And I think that helped me to grow a network faster while I was in school. Because if I isolated myself, then it would have been a harder transition. So I kind of just pushed myself out of my comfort zone to meet people. Um, Also, at my university, there's a Bermudian professor who kind of accepted us as her Bermudian children, if you would say. And so that kind of eased the transition as well. But I kind of pre-planned. So I ensured that I went to a school where there was family close by, especially if there was something that happened and I needed somebody fast. And then I also pushed myself out of my comfort zone. Those were like the two biggest things that I think I did in terms of helping with my adjustment period.
Giannis, anything you want to ask?
What time you have to wake up? Because I know it's hard out there. So what's your daily schedule like?
So Neo, Jaden, what's your guys' daily schedule? Jaden, what's your daily schedule like? What does that look like?
School starts at 7:40, and I'm only in school till about 12 o'clock, 12:10. And then by the time your afternoon activity starts, which is around like 1:30, 1:45, you have weights, you have nutrition, you have mental leadership, all your APD classes, and then you're out in the field for about 2 hours. So basically your day's ending around, I would say by the time you finish training, you're ending at like 5:30, 5:45. By the time you eat dinner, that's about 7:30. And then shoot, you got study hall. So you're probably not going to sleep until 10:30. So it's like early mornings and late nights. And then it's just on repeat.
Jaden,
Yeah.
how important, and as you're saying this, right, the first thing I'm thinking about is you starving. How important it is to like your eating habits. It's
I mean, so technically it's earlier than the set schedule. So obviously you need to wake up early enough to go eat before school. And then straight from school, which ends at 12:10, you're going to get lunch. But it's all a part of time management. Like Jahkele said, it's a matter of managing your time properly so that you're not, rushing. And it's like, oh, I need to eat before I go training, obviously, to fuel my body. And then straight after practice, you're going to dinner. And yeah, it's just a matter of time management, to be honest.
okay. Nia and Jaden, you got Jahkele who's finishing up. Okay, you got Shay who's finished. Okay, she's finished college. What's some like questions? Or even if you want to ask me, what's some questions that you think that you'll need answers to? Nia, I know you want to go pro. Like, what's some questions that we can help you out with? Yeah, Jaden, the same there, and even Miguel and Giannis, if you guys have any questions, because the road is not going to be easy, and what we want this group to do is to keep empowering each other, right? So we can empower other people. So, what's some questions you guys may have? And we have crickets. Nia, you got any questions?
Either or Shay or Jahkele. It doesn't matter who answers. But in terms of going into college, I would say like, what should I do to, I guess, prepare more so that I guess when I get to that point, it's not like a reality shock. You know what I mean?
I can answer this kinda, but I mean, I went to a public school in Harrisburg, so they didn't really help me prepare for college. So it's hard to, but I mean, I say stay in your academics and do extra, because I see that definitely works. And I don't know how your school teaches, but my school didn't teach me, like I said, enough to prepare me for college. So it was kind of a wake-up call when I got there. But yeah, I would just say do extra.
Okay, hold that thought. Hold that thought. Jaden, so let's build our next session. Yeah. So Jahkele, what you're saying is that we need to make sure that we've got somebody on her to help you some tools for preparation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, some prep tools. Okay, and this may bring in on an educator or a college professor or somebody in that field to help us out, because that's important, right? With that first year, and Shay and Jahkele, what is it like? Because it's two things they say. What they say, the what's it, first year freshman 15, freshman 20, was it 20 pounds you put on or something like that? What is it? What is it?
15.
Freshman 15.
Right, yeah. They say you put on weight, right, because of the food. That's one thing as an athlete. The other thing is that, what about the coaching climate? I mean, when you get school, man, I remember when I first went to school, and I went to school early at 17, there's a lot of like alcohol. There was a lot of like parties going on. I remember going to Clemson, all these places. So what does that look like? You know, like what is that? Because those are things that these guys can jump onto. That's a whole different shift.
Mm-hmm. I would say no. I went to college in 2008. So when I first went overseas to school, and I would say there was a couple different climates. So in terms of me coming from Bermuda, going to public school, my school was predominantly Black. I'm from back of town. My neighborhood's Black, right? So I didn't get a lot of experience with other cultures outside of the Black Bermudian culture. So to go overseas and be a minority, that was something that was different for me. To go down to the aisle when you're buying hair products, and you have the ethnic section, or there's no hair salons in your area to get your hair done. So no, you have to learn how to do your own hair and like manage, your own upkeep in that regard. So that was an eye opener for me. In terms of the culture of partying, like my school was the number one party school in the U.S. So, and I didn't party before I went to college. So for me, it was finding balance, the time management, as Jahkele said earlier, and having that self-determination, because you have to really stay focused and hold yourself accountable in that transition process. It's hard because you're young and you kind of want to venture to what's exciting, but you have to find that balance. You can't do work, because mentally you need a break. It's not good for your psyche, right? So you need a break, but you need to find a healthy way to release the stress from the educational process. So it's just finding that balance.
No, that's good.
And finding a community in which you connect with. So finding those people who are like you, who kind of want the same thing. So in school, like, you all want to get good grades in school. You all have the common goal to graduate. You all are into, I don't know, football or arts, right? So finding that connection and finding a group of supports that are going to support you in the process.
So would it be fair, Jahkele, and you guys, and even is that when colleges, and this is for Giannis and Miguel, when you guys are getting to that high school, right? And when you're searching out your colleges, like Shay, I heard you when you was talking about what made your climate a lot easier. Your college was connected or close to family.
Mm-hmm.
When you guys are searching colleges, it's very important that you understand that the climate and the outside of the climate on where you're going to go to school. Don't accept any school. Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is why I have you guys searching out schools. Nia probably end up searching out, tons of schools. And I know she based the school around being closer to me. That's understandable, right? That's family. but and Nia always talked about, I want to go some warm weather. She had this plan in her mind, right? She had this plan. Mm-hmm. But it's amazing how things change, because it was either something spurred her when she went to Towson. This is close by. She's built a relationship around here. So some things change. And that's very important, because a lot of athletes, and especially footballers in Bermuda, they end up just taking the college because they offer them something, because they never done the research at the start. Search out your schools, the climate at the schools. So that's very important, is what I'm hearing. Nia, anything for these guys?
What was one thing that you wish you had known going into your freshman year for college?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Oh. I wish that I would have known that I could have done a double major. I was always taught you had to go, you got your 1 degree, or, you know, you majored in something. I wish I would have known I could have done a double major. That's something I didn't know, because mind you, I love my school and I love my school experience, but that would have changed what university I attended, because I would have been somewhere where I could have majored in dance as well as social work. So that's one thing that I wish I would have known.
Jahkele, what is one thing you wish you would have known?
Well, not exactly going into my college question, if I can switch up your question a little bit, but like I can do better. I wish I could have grades. Grades is a huge thing, definitely in my state, because before I went to Albany, I had to do 2 years in junior college. And if you ever seen Last Chance U on Netflix, it's not a pretty sight at all. But I wish grades is a huge part in a lot of things.
Is there Giannis, and this is to all the four guys and young ladies, is there a high, like, as athletes, are you getting that strong push from your schools for you to really understand the importance of education? Or is it more around you being a good athlete? Like, what's that drive from your schools, your respective schools you're in? Giannis, like how is it at your school? Is it based on, do you see like everybody knows me, I'm a footballer, it's cool, and you get like these little get away with some things? Or has it been told to you the importance of education and how that's to drive your like career as an athlete?
Well, education is like a really big thing at my school. Like, you need a certain amount of grades to be able to pass your level. And so for me, I don't know how to explain it, but like, it's really a big thing. Like, you can't really get past with just doing anything.
Okay. All right. Miguel?
My school is similar to Giannis's in that, and we have like a no pass, no play rule. So let's say if you have a game on a Friday and you have a test on a Thursday and you don't pass the test, then you can't play the game.
Huh. That's like when I was back playing. I remember that the coach got all of his report cards on the Friday night, and me and Sean used to change our, don't do this, please. We used to change our F's to B's. Yep, that's right. Don't laugh, Giannis, don't laugh. And what happened was that, but we didn't understand what the comments meant. So the coach, Harold Doctor, and God bless his soul, he says, Bascome, come here, come. And he took his fist and he just kept pounding me in my chest. Yeah, oh yeah, he hit me. And I said, what happened? I passed. He says, there's no way you can have a B and it says unsatisfactory. So I didn't realize that I should have kind of erased the comments, but that didn't work well. But no, that's important. And that's a good question for you guys. There's a
Cousin David,
yes.
Can we go back to that question? I want to say, even though I'm not an athlete by any means, I went to a D1 school as well. And I think the question you posed is very important, because coming from a D1 school, I was able to observe those students who had tons of talent to make it in the NBA as well as the NFL. And one thing that they didn't do was take education seriously. So while in college, you know, they were the big men on campus, and, you know, everybody raved about them. But a lot of times, even though they were our best players, sometimes they didn't make it to the NFL or they didn't make it to the NBA. And then that didn't happen. They didn't have anything else to fall back on. So for you guys who are athletes who, you know, you guys want to be pro and play in college, make sure that you take your education seriously, because I've seen so many great athletes not take the education seriously, and then they end up kind of with nothing at the end. So that's something that I want to stress to you, because one thing, the school is making money off of you guys being athletes, right? So you have to use them for your education. And I would say education first, because you always have that to fall back on. So making sure that you ensure that you're getting your education as well as progressing in your chosen sport.
So I'm sorry, somebody was saying something. That's a good point, guys. That's a good point. So here's what I got out of this, because when I was finishing up, is that we got to bring somebody on that's going to help us prepare tools. that's needed, right? The tools that's needed for especially those years on how to navigate yourself through college and how to navigate yourself even through high school. Yeah. And also a tool. And if Shay and you guys, if you guys can think of this, like write down some things for me so I can figure out tools to manage their time, right? So I'm going to try to find somebody to come on to give you guys a tool to manage your time. It could be as simple as like a little journal, how to lay out your journal book, right? Also, once we go through this journey, we're going to find in the right climate. Okay, going for football is one thing, but we got to make sure your climate is right, because if you get caught up into, like Shay is saying about just going there and all of a sudden you're scoring all the goals and you are that person, guess what? You can also slip, which brings it on to with here is that planning. I need somebody to come in and help you plan your next steps. Like, for instance, have any one of you thought that, wow, okay, I'm going to play, but it costs money, right? I'm going to school, it costs money. Have any of you thought that, oh, wow, I'm going to get a job on campus, right? What's next, though? What is next? What is next for you? 0.02, make it professionally. 0.02. What's next? What's the next planning stage? And that's the most crucial piece. So I'm going to have somebody come on to help us plan after college, after high school. What does that look like? Okay. So that's our next step plan. And also the one thing is that we are going to connect, and Shay and Jahkele, one of the important things I want to do is connect education to their respective sport. Because if you don't think or understand how education is connected to your actually sport, you're not going to have that deepening of education. You're not going to be able to be bothered, right? So I'm going to put you guys through some tests. So when we come on again, I'm going to throw a screen up and you're going to now break down a play. But when you break down the play, you're going to have to use the language as if we're in a classroom. Yeah, so you're going to have to use some language. I don't want you to say the person went right. You're going to say right angle, what degree. That's the conversation we're going to have. Oh, yeah, I see your eyes kind of throwing the eyes up, right? So we have to do this type of work to prepare you. Yeah. Anything else? Shay, Jahkele, any advice? All of you guys can give the advice to the next person. So then, Nia, you're going to give advice to Giannis and Miguel. And Jaden, you the same. And then Jaden and Miguel, you're going to give advice to young people that's watching. Here we go. Who wants to go first? Shay, being up on screen, you go first.
Okay, advice.
Yep.
Make sure that you do what your passion is, right? So understandably, sports is a passion of yours, but you get your education in the process. Actually, this would be my advice, utilize all your resources, right? And never allow yourself to close a door that's open. You want to make sure that you really expose yourself to as much as possible to hone into who you truly are as a person, I would say.
Awesome. Jahkele, any advice?
Advice, like I was saying, time management and things, but I got a quote is proper preparation prevents poor performance. So you got to make sure you're always prepared for anything, or as life, sports, and evidently your performance would be way better.
Awesome. Prepare, right? Nia, any advice to the young people, to Miguel and your two, your adopted brothers, to your two brothers down below you, yeah, Giannis and Miguel. Any advice for them?
I would say, like, when it comes to your schoolwork and like being your big assignments and stuff, don't like wait till the last minute, because that's when things will go sideways real quick.
Awesome, good. Jaden, any advice for Miguel and Giannis?
Like, honestly, like Jahkele really said, time management, and like Shay said, take your education seriously. Basically, school's gonna end up, depending on you, because they're dependent on you. They're dependent on you. So I don't know if I said that right. Did I say that right?
Yes. Go ahead. Keep going. You're fine.
Anyway, so basically, just take your education seriously.
Right.
Always give your best, and then believe in yourself.
Awesome. Miguel, anything that you got for a young person watching, somebody that's even in your class, younger than you? Any advice?
Yes, probably to work hard and always look for opportunities to do better.
Awesome. Awesome. Giannis, anything?
Probably to just never give up. Like, I mean,
No, that's fine. Yeah, never give up, right? Never stop. And so for you guys, it's a pleasure having you on once again as this journey continues. Yes, I want to thank you guys for being on. And also, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for watching. Okay, everybody who's been tuning in to Bascome's Corner, I want to thank you for watching and then help us to empower our young people. And don't forget is that preparing yourself, right? Your time management. Don't give up. Okay, always having that purpose and having that why. So I want to say thank you once again. Thank you for everybody. My young athletes, Shay, Jahkele, thanks for coming on and looking forward to seeing everybody next week. Thank you.